Hello, this is Vegas and Jim, play of the week, and today we got Vegas on the other line. She's waiting patiently to tell us what the play of the week is. And what is it, Miss Vegas?
So, good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the weekend, and we are in the mid-July here. Obviously, we have an exciting week ahead. Just a reminder to everyone, we have a lot of earnings coming up this week. In particular, we have a lot of major banks, pharmaceutical firms, and airlines, as well as some tech and telecom giants reporting. And in a particular interest this week for me, I love Goldman Sachs, and they're on the table to give their earnings report tomorrow morning and before the opening bell. The analysts are looking to see a rise in earnings per share of around 14% growth in revenue. And I love trading the stock, especially from an options perspective, because it usually has a lot of momentum. If you don't trade the options and you look at the stock, you might want to trade the stock. And I think what's really important with Goldman Sachs is that they've had a lot of robust deal flow and revenue growth in the investment banking sector and well poised for success and earnings growth. Looking forward to hearing the numbers tomorrow and the guidance. So, looking forward to seeing what that's going to do. I'm not going to be shocked if they blow it out of the park. So, I'm going to turn it over to Jim to talk about the chart because this is an earnings play. So, obviously, if you're not in Goldman Sachs options, you're going to have to wait until the earnings are out. And a lot of people normally will wait for the earnings to come out before they trade the actual options on it. So one to watch for tomorrow for day trade. So that's why I'm mentioning it. But I'll let Jim talk about what he sees on the chart because it could be exciting. Now for options, what I'm going to be looking for if the options are smashing, the earnings are smashing, I'm going to look at the $500 calls weekly. Those closed around $2.64 on Friday. But obviously, if the earnings are smashed and the stock does gap up, I'm definitely not going to get that price. So, Jim, over to you on the chart because Goldman Sachs is an exciting one starting tomorrow.
No yabba dabba do. As we can see, we're looking here at the weekly time frame right now, and we had a quad breakout 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4. And we ran into those four big O's, and these are on weekly candlestick patterns. And it's respected the 9, so that's what we're going to use for right now as a support line for this thing if it does decide to pull back to a low support. And that number right now is going to be based right upon that 9 EMA on the weekly. And we're just going to go ahead and draw a price line right there at 456.16. Now that's the lowest support possible. And in between that, we had a double top, triple top, or a quad top break where you had resistance, 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 and then we found support on that fourth week or that fourth time to break. So we're also going to put us a little support line right there, Miss Vegas. Slip it in right there, right around 469.04. That's going to be your very low support. So we're going to move this now to a different time frame, which is going to be the yearly daily. And that looks beautiful. I could probably raise that support line, so I'm going to set an alert right here on the top of this wick. If I can get it in there and get it going. There we go. That 471.52 at the mark at below. And I didn't even think about it, but it runs right into that 9 on the daily, so that's perfect. Actually, I could raise it up a little bit to the body of that there candle, and let's do that. That way I can be prepared for that thing if it does kind of go below that, but that's a perfect spot right there. Actually, just a little bit higher. I want to get this thing perfect. So that is at 473. That's where you want to hold your low support for this coming week. And if we maintain and hold this resistance level right here at 479.08, I think that'll give us the gumption to come up here and break that double top, that triple top, right around 483.25. So these are the daily. We want to try to keep it above the 9 this coming week if it does decide to go ahead and pull back a little bit. We got earnings, did you say, on Monday morning,
Yeah, tomorrow morning we've got those earnings.
Yeah, so we got to keep a real good eye on this first thing in the morning because you could get a knee-jerk reaction of a pullback, and then all of a sudden it just bounces right back up to that opening price. So that's definitely one that you should be watching for sure Monday morning. That was a good pick, Miss Vegas.
Yeah, I like it. I like the action, so I hope the earnings is good. So this way the pick is good.
Yeah.
So keep a watch on Goldman Sachs. All right. And our next pick, can I go on to the next one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So one more. So the next one, so we wanted to give you guys 2 picks this week. One is Goldman Sachs for day trade, only if the earnings is good. If you'd like to short and the earnings are bad, then obviously you're going to look at shorting the stock. But I don't usually trade trade on the short side. But I want to talk about Oracle because, I'm really looking at the chart and it closed 52-week highs. And I'm really liking this chart. I know they had some deal with Elon Musk for XAI, but that deal fell through. They were in talks to expand the existing plan that Oracle rents out specialized NVIDIA AI chips to the startup. But the chips were going to be used to build a supercomputer, and the deal was valued at $10 billion. But instead, XAI has chosen to build a data center on their own, according to several people in the talks. And the data center will be built in Memphis, Tennessee, with the NVIDIA chips now being supplied by Dell and Supermicro Computers, per the report. So Elon Musk did say that Oracle is a great company, but there's just another company that shows promise that's involved in the OpenAI GB200 cluster. And he actually said, when our fate depends on being the fastest by far, we have our own hands on the steering wheel rather than be a backseat driver. So regardless of those comments, though, the stock did well and closed really strongly on Friday. You can see the volume from the day before, which was Thursday, was 5.2 million versus 7.3 million on Friday. So there's still interest in the stock, and it did close 52-week closing highs. So keep your eyes on the stock. On Oracle, if it gets back over the highs from Friday, 145.13, I will go long on the stock. I'm looking for this to go to 150 and 152.50. So I'm going to let Jim talk about the charts and the different levels, but I will take a swing trade on Oracle from an options angle, and where you can go on the commons and trade the stock. But for the options angle, I will do maybe August 2nd. And I'll look at the 150 calls, or the August 16, do a monthly. So the 150s for August are pretty good. They closed at 203. So I think I'll stick to the August 16 monthlies. So Jim, I'm going to turn it over to you about the charts and the levels because I have not much more to say about Oracle except that the earnings was good. And they get some good guidance, and that the earnings is out of the way. So this is why I like this as well. So if you take a swing trade, you don't have to worry about earnings coming up.
Yeah.
So, Jim, let me hear you talk about the charts because you're so good at nailing those levels. The best in the business.
Well, thank you very much. What we have right now here this is the daily time frame, and it's definitely set up looking very bullish right now. We have a Darvis box, and we're going to color that in right here. Just like that right there. We got the resistance high, so we're going to draw that resistance that it's got to break. And if we break that resistance, that'll now become support. 145.43 definitely will be your hard resistance to break. If we even start to bounce up above the 145 area and start to gain respect, I think we'd have pretty good hopes to try to break that 145.43. Now there's a pivot point area inside of this here Darvis box, and we're going to draw that line in right now, and that's going to be no lower than right there at 141.26 with your low support for the week at 138. No lower than that. No lower than that. But we'd expect it to respect the 9. Now these are my moving averages. I got the 9, the 21, and the 63 EMAs with the 200, and I don't have the 200 SMA on here, but I mean the 50, but I need to put it on, the 50 and the 200 SMA. But if we stay above this 9 here on the daily time frame, I think we have a good opportunity of breaking this triple top up here at 145.43. And if we do decide to have, if we do have a sour week due to the tragic incident that happened yesterday with Donald Trump, we got to kind of keep our eyes open on the news and how the market's going to react to that. So far, I don't think it's going to react too much, but 141.
Well, thank God it was not a tragedy. That's for sure. Thank God he's okay.
Yes,
we need our
ma'am.
president. We need our president.
Yep. 141.26 is the pivot point with a low support of 138 and resistance to break of 145 to take it to the next level of 150. There's Oracle. I like the chart. Definitely like the chart. Okay, Miss Vegas.
Well, you know what? We have 2 great picks this week, so let's hope we can make money on these. And stay tuned for the update next week on these 2 picks. And wish everyone success with their trading this week, and also some great earnings this week. One to watch for sure. I'm going to be watching Netflix and see how that trades and how it performs with the earnings. But other than that, not much else to share right now. Want to see some of these earnings get out of the way, and then we'll have some additional commentary next week on the next video report. So thank you everyone for listening. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all next week with Vegas and Jim.
That's right. Now I'm going to repeat on Goldman Sachs. That was 483.25. That's the resistance we got to break, and the support we got to hold is 473.03, and that'll keep it bullish if we hold that 473. That's it. Thank you, Miss.
Make sure you guys write that down, because sometimes people like listening to the videos and they're like, oh, I get messages from people on social media say, the video you guys did on the weekend, can you repeat? Can you remind me what the levels were? And I'm like, no, I'm working right now. I don't have time. So take a sticky note or a piece of paper, write it down, and just tape it to your desk. So if the trade, goes in play, you know where the support is, you know what targets we're looking at. So write it down, comes in very handy when the trade's active. So hope that helps, and thank you so much, Jim. Phenomenal job.
I find myself all the time going back and watching the videos, even after I do them. Like if the trade's working out, I want to go back and see how I predicted it, because I don't write them down either. I mean, I should. They're charted down, but then if they get too dirty, I like to clean them up. But I was very impressed with Tesla, and what was the one before that, NVIDIA, that Vegas and I have done.
Yeah, we smashed those two. Tesla and NVIDIA, guys. We did a great job on those. Hopefully you guys made money on it. And great targets from Jim to the penny.
If you follow Tesla and you took that trade with us and got out at our resistance, and then that news hit, and you can cipher what the news is talking about, and it was more or less a trade that we had on our watch list, and when that knife came, jumped right in that trade and bounced right back up. So, bad news came in, but Tesla still was a good reward if you had it on your watch list and you didn't take that trade with us, because we had that big dip, and then boom, Friday came, we had that huge run on the stock. So it's just something to keep in mind. Just because something goes sour on you, and it hit our low support. We called 234 in the video, and then we hit that 234 twice Friday morning. So that would have been an excellent trade. $15 gain on that one. Almost back up to the halfway through, to that big dip off that news. So yeah, it's a good idea to keep a good eye on ones that call out, even if they don't quite work out. They might just work out. The timing might not just be that perfect. Go ahead.
No, so that's it. That's
Yep.
it. I have no more commentary. We covered it all.
Yep.
And you guys should be making money listening to these videos. I mean, it's great content. Doesn't matter what you trade, swing trade, day trade, option trade, whatever is working for you, then do what works for you. We're just giving you some suggestions of trades that you might want to look at, do your own due diligence, and look forward to the next video next week. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy your weekend.
Yabba dabba do. Goldman Sachs and Oracle and Tesla and Apple. All of them. Bye-bye.
Bye.